Before we go any farther, I just want to go ahead and fill the screen with this image. So we're hiding all the background stuff. We're hiding the rolling hills in the background, for example. And we can focus in on this one layered composition, which is to say this image that's made up of a couple of layers at this point here. And I'm going to do that by pressing the F key a couple of times in order to fill the screen with the image. And I might go ahead and zoom in on the image a couple of clicks as well so that we're just seeing the image on screen. Quite gratifying, I think, to be able to focus in on an image to this degree. Now, I would say that we have a nice match between the foreground and background images, and of course, they flow into each other pretty nicely at this point. But what we don't have is a scary hotel. Right now, I look at this hotel and I think I'm going to go to sleep when I get there. It's so boring. I want something that's going to scare me, man. That's so vivid and alluring that I can't help go to it, even though I know I'm going to get scared. I want to be there. And I'm going to do that, by the way, using some adjustment layers. So let's start things off by adding what's called a levels adjustment layer. If you were following along with me, which of course you're not, you're just sitting back and relaxing, right? But if you were following along with me, you'd go to the layers palette and you'd go down here to this black-white icon that allows you to choose an adjustment layer. And an adjustment layer is a layer of color adjustment that affects everything below it. And I'm going to choose the levels command. Now, the levels command is itself a little bit scary, very dramatic, very alluring, I think, and very frightening. Now, it is also very powerful, as any scary thing is, and we'll be investigating the levels command in all kinds of detail later on down the line. But for now, I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this value that says 255 right now, and I'm going to press Shift down arrow to reduce it to 245. So I'm making the highlights inside of the image, that is the lightest colors, even lighter to brighten them up just a little bit. Then I'm noticing, looking at this image, that it has sort of a blue color cast. That is to say, we're seeing too much bluish atmosphere here, a function of the cloudy lighting. So I'm going to go up to this channel item here, and I'm going to choose blue, and then I'm going to click in this middle item, this little middle option, and I'm going to press Shift down arrow to reduce the amount of blue inside the image. And did you see that happen? This is before, a little bluish. This is after, just a little less blue, a little warmer, a little more inviting so far. Not going for the scary yet, just the invitation of scary at this point. All right, I'm going to click OK in order to accept that modification. So just so you can see the difference, this is before we added that layer, and this is after. A subtle but very important adjustment. Now let's bolster the saturation of the colors to make them more vivid. I'm going to once again go down to this black-white icon, and this time I'm going to choose our friend from a few exercises ago, hue saturation. And I'm going to click in the saturation value, and I'm going to press Shift up arrow 4 times in a row to increase the saturation of the colors and make them much, much more vivid. Now I'm going to click OK. And at this point, you might say, hey, Deke, you went a little too far, baby. This is before, after all, and this is after. These colors are now leaping off the screen. Yes, I appreciate the nice green vegetation, but is it really necessary for this scruff in the foreground to be bright orange, for example? Well, take my word for it. It's gonna work. Now we've opened up the invitation. Now we've made it look like a nice, heartwarming hotel. Come visit us. We'll treat you right? Next, in the next exercise, we're going to make it nice and gloomy and dark and scary, just the way it ought to be.